Now, Jamarcus, you pointed this out because Jamarcus had drank a few of these cups, and he's like, dude, I'm getting cooked, bro. I'm like warming up. I'm breaking like somebody.
I'm sweating. Yeah.
Why is that again?
So it's how much, it's what your ratio is that you're using of coffee to water. So when people say, I want to taste like what you have in the coffee shop, I'm like, it's going to be your grind and it's going to be your ratio. Like, how long is that water? If you open that top, are you brewing some right now?
Yeah.
If you open that top, do you have like water sitting?
We can't open it.
See, that's what I'm saying. So a lot of them, they won't even let you do it. But that's why these Chemexes, it's like you can see how quickly the water goes down into the bottom of this thing from the top. Doing a pour over using just hot water, but if you grind it too fine, it turns into mud. And if you have it too coarse, the water is just rushing straight through it. So it just ends up being kind of like dirty brown water, it's not very good. And it's like, but if you want that thick, that viscous, that mouthfeel, that flavor, I was like, then you need to get your grind right. So this is all going back to your grinder. Like, it's important to have a good grinder. So.
Well, guys, you know what I think we need to do? I think we need to have Bo show us the proper pour over system, because I want that. I need to see it, man. Look, part of building anything is basically either figuring it out or taking it. Got enough water in there?
No, we need some more.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. Stay tuned, people. We about to warm this thing up. Boy. This is getting good.
Brew, we have it as a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
So when we do it as a cold brew, we're putting 1 pound of coffee to 1 gallon of water. You got those Chemex filters?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, but look, guys, Bo sent me some amazing stuff. I almost couldn't figure out the instructions. I ain't gonna lie to you. This thing's like paper mache.
Do you guys have a scale? Are you oh, there it is.
Of course, Benjamin. Go ahead. Let me get you situated, man. Get you zooted and cabooted, as the old folks say.
And in grams too. Look at that.
Look at that, man. See, I'm over here practicing.
So a lot of times people swear by like, oh well, you need only the natural kinds. I only use bleach, or I use unbleached. None of that actually matters. If you can tell the difference in your cup based on a bleach versus unbleached filter, you're hired. Come work for me, because you're probably a super taster. But if I did this blind in front of you and then tell you tell me which one it is, you wouldn't be able to tell me. So bleach versus unbleached doesn't really matter, in my opinion. What do we need to do? Well, like, which bag do we need to use for this? Do you want light, medium, or dark?
Which one's the best?
Well, which one do you?
Let's go light.
What do you guys want? Then we'll go with this.
Good choice.
Yeah, smooth operator is the one.
Smooth operator.
Yeah. So this one is a pulp natural Brazil. So that means they leave some of the cherry on it.
Oh.
So yeah.
So in this particular, dude, I had one, man.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Well, shit, you the one sitting to me. He works himself out.
So this one we get it from a country in Brazil. Take a sniff. It smells like nutter butter. It's like peanut butter.
I've never smelled it actually.
It's very peanut buttery.
It's got that buttery note to it.
Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah. So this is one of those when you go to the farm you can't unsmell it.
Oh.
So it's when it hits you and you're like walking behind these machines and they're kicking up all those coffee plants and you just kind of have your nose in the air. It's like that smell. Like you can end up getting some of that farm flavor, but in a good way, not in a funky way. But this is where they'll leave some of the cherry on, so there's going to be a lot of sweetness that we're trying to get out of this one in particular. This one has some of the darker, more bittersweet notes. This is more of like a milk chocolate note. This is more like a liquefied Snickers bar. This one will be a little bit darker chocolate. So.
Okay, we're going to talk about measuring in the next video.
Yeah. And so how many, let's see, we've got a 10 cup. I may need to do some math real quick. Remember, I've got so many things going through my head when it comes to how many grams do I need and how much water is like going to be.
So I think the video that I watched, it was like 700 milligrams of water. And then 50 grams of coffee.
Yeah. 50 grams?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It's 50 grams of coffee and then 700 milligrams of water.
Yeah, I'll talk about, I can get into some of the ratios, and that's where I'm like,
the camera's rolling, but all of it's rolling. You know that, right? It's on.
It's one of those like that we can sit here and talk about it, but it's one of those like I just encourage everybody like, start looking it up because you'll see a lot of varying opinions on how to do that. Personally, I've used a lot of ChatGPT, and that's like coming from a coffee professional because I can never remember the right, what size of cup to what ratio, and usually I'm getting put on the spot. I'm like, hey, brew something for me, and it's like, oh man, like, do you have a scale that works in grams? And it's like, no, I got to convert it to ounces or whatever. So, but I'll mostly get into the extraction of it here, because the other part you can end up looking up and you can see online. We'll do the 50 grams on this one, because that's where, like, you know, how many people have a Chemex, you know, versus like a coffee maker. You know, when we do these bags, you know, we do these specifically 2 ounces. It's like, that'll make you 6 cups, like solid cups. You can make up to 8 cups with this, and it's still like an easy drinking 8 cups or a strong 6 cups. That's most coffee makers. Like if you have like a Mr. Coffee Maker at home and you're like, I don't got anything fancy, I just got a coffee maker. I'm like, perfect. You know, this is all you need to do, you know, a full pot to be able to share with somebody. So
And what is your favorite tip to use?
man, like it's kind of, in theory, it depends on what bean you use and like what origin. That's how nerdy this stuff
Hey,
gets.
dude.
And I'm like, but for what we're doing, like, you know, get me in the 202 range.
There you go.
Yeah.
202 it is.
Perfect.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
All right, check this out, guys. So we got both here, and we're literally going through. Again, get you a mayest cup. What one did we do?
That was a Colombia.
Colombia.
Yeah, Colombia.
Now,
So this one is a special coffee. This one, we're probably about to discontinue this because I really want to save some for summer to do cold brews with it.
Really?
Because it's so fruity. As a hot cup, it's like you're going to get a lot of fruitiness that comes through on it. But, you know, really, you know, again, this is, yeah, cheers on that.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Don't burn your lips.
what we realize is that this gets more noisy, if you would, as the temperature drops. Meaning, like, hey, you can smell more fruit sometimes, more
Yeah.
chocolatey nose,
Yeah.
and in some cases, it almost gets better.
Oh, yeah, it does. Now, in my opinion, if you're a coffee tasting professional, you're waiting for the coffee to get to room temperature or cooler.
Really?
Yeah, it's usually like 20 to 40 minutes in by the time I'll taste coffee for an hour. And so when I do those cuppings that I've kind of sent to you, and it's like we've got all these cups out on the table and we're going through and slurping all of it, like I'll go through and do it, you know, we at least wait 8 minutes in just so we don't burn our tongue, you know. Because once you burn your tongue, you can't taste the thing. So this is a trick, a marketing trick. Drink that coffee when it's piping hot. Drink that beer when you can see the blue on the Rockies, right? You know, make sure that it's really cold or really hot, because then you can't taste anything. You know, it's like, oh, it's just a cold beer. You know, it's just a hot cup of coffee, and it's like, wait till that thing cools off, and you'll taste like all sorts of nonsense in that. So when we're in the professional world, we always wait, because then you can get. That's when you know how well the farmer produced the coffee. When coffee goes sour, usually it's in like the 20-25 minute mark. At least for some of the coffees we've brought in, where it's like we're testing them and tasting them from this farm. I won't mention where it is, but it was this farm, and they were telling us how awesome it was and how beautiful it was. And then like 20 minutes in, like it got so sour, it's like pinching you on the sides of your mouth where your sour receptors are. You know, you've got your sour receptors on the side.
Yep.
You know, you've got your umami right in the middle. You've got bitterness at the tip of your tongue. So when you start thinking about like, where are you tasting the coffee? And it's like, oh, it has good mouthfeel.
I gotta go read about umami now. What are we talking about?
What is this?
Broke down the whole tongue.
Yeah. So when you look at the biology of like people are like, oh, I taste it on the top of my mouth. I'm like, you don't have any flavor receptors on the top of your mouth. Like, I mean, sure, whatever you want to say. You know, you think that's where you're tasting it, but like you're tasting it on your tongue. You know, so that's where you're getting a lot of those mouthfeels. You're getting that viscosity. You're feeling that those chemicals that are good chemicals, but natural, the things that the plant has metabolized. You're getting them on your flavor receptors, and that's where you're getting the most like, again, that terroir. You're tasting the earth. You're tasting the processing. You're tasting like, did they have a good year? Did they have a bad year? Was it a dry year? Was it a wet year? And you can tell all this like when it hits your tongue. You can't necessarily do it with just your nose. You can't necessarily do it with just like looking at it. You know, you have to taste it. And so when that part of that,
I feel like we need to have a class on flavor, man. Listen, guys, we're gonna get into this Chemex next, because I mean, look, I love going into new arenas, and that's why I love building brands. Your mind's blown.
Yeah.
Whether you're doing whiskeys or cigar, if you came in and saw my dogs, you're like, what is going on here? Hey, man, we're just taking care of a few dogs, drinking coffee, saving the world. We keep it a whiskey. All right, man, so he just set this thing to 6. We got to measure it out, though, man. You ain't put no coffee in here.
Oh, I know. I was just turning it. I haven't. Those are like coffee machines. Like, I've never actually brewed or ground on these machines. I know what they are.
And we'll
I've
use the
seen.
smooth operator, right?
Yeah.
Smooth operator for the Chemex. How many grams we need? 50?
Yes. Well, what's up?
Well, way over.
Well, that's where it's like it's personal preference, you know. So it's like if you want to end up doing a stronger cup, add a little more. If you don't like it to be that strong, add a little less. There's no set rules for any of this. The way is open, man. Like that's where a lot of time. That's why we named it thou mayest. Like no rules, man. Like it's what you want. It's how you want it.
And you saying that the 6 on here? Oh, damn! It does say pour over.
This is a pour. People think about like pour overs. They think of I saw one that you had somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's back there, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people think of this as like, oh, it's a specific thing. I'm like, it's just a poured over method. In theory, you know, this is a pour over too.
Yeah.
In theory, it's coffee maker, but it's poured over the bed of coffee, so it's not steeped in the coffee like a French press.
Interesting. Well, guys, listen. As he said, we now know that your tongue's something's wrong with your tongue. You probably ain't tasting the earth. Coffee needs, what do you say, 8 minutes to cool?
We let it go for 8 to 8:50 before we're actually tasting it.
And then at 25 minutes, the coffee will tell you the truth.
It'll start really revealing itself. It starts to unfurl. It starts to unravel. You know, it starts to. We'll call it like, you know, you'll see it when we do this. It's called a bloom. The fresher the coffee, you see the coffee almost turn inside out, and that's because like there's chemical reactions that are happening in here too. So.
Jesus. Well, we're going to let Bo go step by step and break down this chemical reaction.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. I got to figure out a coffee saving. We drinking coffee saving the world. Dude, that looks crazy, man.
Well, let's fire that thing back on there.
Oh, so you supposed to measure with it on there?
Yeah, I need to know how much actually went in here.
Oh, snap.
But I got a good idea. Yeah. Cool.
So 54 grams.
It's which we put 50-ish.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, it should have been, but that's where I'm like,
So from here, what are you measuring?
we're tearing it now, and then I'm going to start my timer with it too. So you're going to do what's
It's all
called,
being recorded.
yeah. So, see, make sure I do this right. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add about 30-ish grams, well, 40 grams. So what you're seeing right now, we'll start this, but what you're going to see is this, it's not doing it as much, but this is where people get into that fresh coffee. The more coffee that we add in here, the more you'll see it start to bloom and blossom. That is just the reaction that's going when that hot water hits that coffee, and it almost is alive. And that's where a lot of people swear by like fresh coffee versus rested coffee, which we can talk about. Don't let me forget about that. That's a hot topic right now. We've waited about 30 seconds where we're just letting the grounds get kind of steeped. They're just gonna, I don't know, it's kind of a wetting your whistle. We're letting the ground start to get activated, and now going in, I'm going a little bit quick. And then you're kind of, what you're doing is right now all the water is steeping within the coffee, and if it's going in too quick, you're going to get really quick extraction, versus like if it's too fine and it turns into mud and it's a really slow extraction, and that's going to bring out different flavors. It's going to bring out different notes. It'll give you a completely different cup experience too. So
Jesus. Who knew drinking coffee was so technical?
it's crazy, man. And that's where like these accoutrements, like they're coming out with new kettles and little dibble dabble things that you like fluff your coffee and you aerate it, and then now you've got like, you know, all your espresso gear, all your whisks, all your different cleaning tools. And
Isn't that crazy,
yeah,
man?
the cool thing about Brazil coffee in particular, and this smooth operator in general, it's called this area called Minas Gerais, and it's like this area that's like kind of these high plateaus. So this is where like geography comes into play. So within Brazil, it's got this, you know, coffee wants to find that sweet spot between, you know, the elevation where it doesn't freeze, but where it's not too hot and the air is too stagnant and you've got all the disease and the bugs. So the lower the coffee you go, you don't have good air movement. You cram all that coffee in there, they get diseases and they all get each other sick. You know, then you get bugs, and the bugs just go to town on these things. And if you think about what coffee is, like, why does it even produce caffeine? Caffeine was originally, these plants are using it as an insecticide to keep the bugs off. So they're producing that caffeine as like to keep bugs away.
So coffee's technically a pesticide removal.
Yeah, it's an insecticide. Yeah, it's an insecticide. So
Who knew that?
That's a lot of the
Guys,
things they talk
listen,
about.
we're gonna keep this pour over going while he keeps teaching us a little something. Call this Coffee 101. School's in session.
And that's why we do a lot of with this in terms of the coffee education, because like you can fall into it and you may never come back. Like I never came back. Like I fell into it. And
Like he just
it's
fell
a deep
down a
hole,
hole.
man. It's a deep hole.
It's like that hole in what's that movie with Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah, you just keep
He's
going
still
down the
wondering.
rabbit hole. Yeah.
He's still wondering. He never got out the rabbit hole. Just
But one question leads to another, you know, and you're like, wait, and then by the time you figure it out, well, you got a new crop coming on, and you got a new year, and now all of a sudden we're like, wait, years matter, and it's like, well, what vintage did you get? I'm like, well, we don't say that with coffee. It's like, well, why don't you say that with coffee? It's like it's produce, like it goes bad.
Vintage.
You
Who
know?
uses the word vintage? Like what?
Well, like wine, you know,
wine.
yeah. So they'll say like, well, that was a good year, and I'm like, well, we can't really do that with coffee. Like, I mean, I can keep those seeds, you know, if I store them in caves, which we have a ton of them in Kansas City, so
Oh yeah.
it's fantastic for seed storage, you know. So
Hey, this is so interesting, man. Listen, guys, I'm telling you right now. If you ever wonder why you become an entrepreneur, why you build something, you build it to learn. And in that journey that you're learning, you go and you share that path that you're creating with others. And it's guys like Bo you bump into, and you say, hey, what's the trick to making a good cup of coffee? I'm just going to ask him.
this is what's going on right now, and this is where like this is like kind of the rate that you want to see it dripping out the bottom of it. So this is from a filter. So people talk about like having a clean cup versus a dirtier cup, and that just means like, you know, how many particulate are you getting in there? If you have this filter in there, it's catching a lot of those oils and the particulate, versus say like a French press where it's like you've just got them all thrown there, all those oils and all that reaction is just kind of happening all at once. So some people swear by it and they're like, oh, I only drink French press, and it's like it's got more caffeine in it. It's like depends on what kind of coffee you're drinking, to be honest. And that's where there's a lot of misinformation when it comes to coffee, especially around like, hey, the lighter the roast, you know, the more caffeine it has in it. Not necessarily true. It's genetics.
Not true at all, right?
It's genetics.
So the genetics of the flower itself.
Of the coffee plant, yeah. And is it in an environment does it have those natural pests around that it wants to try to ward off more? Because then it's like, well, it's going to be naturally producing that thing that it was kind of designed, it evolved to create.
So the more it basically is
Struggles.
struggles, the more flavor you get from it.
It can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I got to this video. This is good, man. You're killing it.
Yeah.
All right, now in your experience, what's been your favorite countries that have the most active plants that yield the highest return on like just good flavor?
So this is like right now, I mean, you've got Brazil, which is like #1 exporter of coffee, you know, in the world. I mean, the resource that they dump into it, you know, it's one of their top exports in that whole country. You know which country comes right behind? Vietnam.
Oh wow.
#2. And it's like, that is crazy how small that country is and how much coffee they're pumping out. Not always the best grade of coffee, but they're producing a lot of it. And just now there's starting to be a lot of Vietnamese coffee that's showing up that's actually pretty darn good. And it's actually scoring really, really high, which is fun to see. So we're sitting at 6 minutes here since we first started. We're just kind of finishing up here on the extraction. I probably, if I could go back and rewind here, we'd probably go a little bit coarser on this.
Yeah. And why is that?
Just to speed this up just a tad. Like it'll be fine. It's still make a great cup of coffee.
Now, when it gets to this mud level, this right here looks like some dirt or something.
Yeah, it's good.
This is good?
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's just one of those, like the way that it's getting kind of mudded up, it's slowing it down. So it's sitting in those grounds a little bit longer, which can lead to what's called over extraction. It'll be like you'll taste it as like a bitterness, you know. So that's where, like, if you want to try to maintain that sweetness, giving it kind of the optimal, like the grind, your grinder, how much grind, how much water, what temperature is your water. That's why it all kind of matters. And when people come to the shop and they're like, how do I replicate what you have at my house? And I'm like, well, we're making sure a lot of those variables are kind of crossed off the list.
Yeah.
You know, we're making sure that grinder is fully calibrated, you know, that we have settings and it's like I make marks on these things, like grind here, you know. same thing on the espresso machines, making sure that they pulling 9 bars of pressure. It's supposed to be at 9 bars, but
9 bars of pressure.
yeah. So anyway,
Does the machine tell you that?
Yeah, I can't.
We'll give them that.
Yes,
and
yeah,
that,
that'll
guys.
do.
Listen,
Yeah.
we're gonna try the Chemex version of this, and the Chemex is basically the same thing as like a pour over. It's nothing, no different.
No, I mean it's really just how much control do you actually want to have, because sometimes these machines, they can be kind of dumb, where it's like it's just water on, water off, and it's like, well, you need to pour it for 30 seconds, let it bloom, let it rest, let it breathe for a second, then you can start the pour over process. But if you start pouring over and it's like, well, you're going to stop if it's like mudded up, you know, but if you don't grind it right or whatever, you can see what happens immediately. So if you just want more control over it, and then it's like, once you get that down, like I've got one that's for the Chemex, it's called the Auto, and it has a little head that comes over. It's basically the same thing. But it's like, it brews using a pour over method into a Chemex. And just, I don't have much control, but the way that they've designed it is called pulse brew technology. So it'll pulse, and then it'll turn off, and it'll pulse, and it'll turn off. So it's doing it in spurts so that I can just click a button and walk away, you know.
Dang, man.
So.
Well, look, we're gonna try this in the next video. He's gonna walk us through the grading process of this.
Yeah, this is where, like, this is our main, the coffee that we sell the most. This is when most Americans think of coffee, this is coffee flavored coffee. This Columbia earlier that we brewed, that one, I call it the IPA of the coffee world. And people, when they have it, they're like, this has all sorts of weirdness going on. It's like when we were tasting whiskey earlier. Like, what kind of flavors are you putting in this?
Yeah.
These aren't flavors. None. Yeah, these are the natural flavors that are out there that I'm either pulling out or suppressing by roasting. You know, I can take those caramels, bring those caramels out and that fruit down if I want, and I just roast it darker. You know, or the way that you brew it. You know, you can bring more sweetness out if you brew it as like a cold brew, or like, you know, grind it up as coarse as you can, put it in your French press and put it in your refrigerator overnight. You know, plunge it in the morning and you know, pour it in your glass and go to work. You know, and it's like, that's another good way that if you're not brewing for more than 2 people or whatever, it's like a great way to do like cold coffee.
How long are you supposed to drip for?
It's still dripping a little bit,
So
but
you let it get his last drip.
I mean, it's one of those like it's ready.
There we go.
It's
Final
ready.
PP.
He's ready.
Let me get my cup, man. You need another cup?
I do. Yeah, I still haven't even drank my last stuff. I probably waited too long.
It's okay, we got some.
But like we'll let this set for a few more minutes.
Hey,
And
look,
we'll
man.
pour some out for you.
Yeah, I'll take some. Oh, did you want some?
Oh yeah, I can do some. Please,
So-
thank you.
So on this, that smell. No, I know. We're not gonna smell, man. We're not trying to.
I know Tim with that sweet stuff. Like, hey man, what you doing? Give me those sweet
What you're smelling off this is like there's that peanut buttery stuff going on, and that's where I'm like, this is terroir from Brazil, man, and it's like just so classic Brazil. Like Brazil roasts, like they're just so non-offensive. It's coffee flavored coffee, you know. It's like, it's so good, you know. It's buttery. It's got milk chocolate. It's got that peanut butter essence, and again, like I've tasted too much coffee in my life, so I'm like sitting here, I'm like, that's peanut butter, and like, I'll believe you, but I don't taste it, you know. And that's where I get it. Like
I don't disagree.
Yeah, but
it's like when you said buttery, that thing has crazy viscosity. They're like coated my mouth and everything, and that wasn't the same way.
Yeah, you drink it next to that, and then you go back and forth. This is why we do these tastings.
Oh,
and
but
these
even the
cuppings.
nose on this one is crazy because
Yeah.
it's like fruitier, way fruitier.
Yeah, then you wait till they cool off, and then when you taste them all next to each other with the same amount of coffee, brewed the same way, ground the same way, in these cups, and you're going through like slurping them, tasting them. Then all of a sudden you're like, that's not like that. Which one of these is not like the
That's
other
why
one?
I literally
you know?
told Tim, I said, go get some of the whiskey, because he said he's not really been able to taste prominent flavors.
Right.
He brought you everything that
Yeah,
had flavor.
he had some crazy stuff there too. That was fun.
And those are like, well, good morning.
Yeah.
Now, guys, a couple more questions in the next video because this is getting interesting, man.
Yeah. So this nostalgic, like I get transported to the farm every time I smell this.
I wouldn't raise a real farm.
No. Well, I'm saying like the farms in Brazil.
I'm giving you a hard time.
Brazil, like out in Brazil, and we're out on these these matriarch.
You was there?
Yeah, like this last year, these matriarch farms, and these women are badass, man. They're cool.
These means from an agricultural standpoint, to be clear, people.
What did I say?
It's okay.
Oh,
You
shit.
just- don't worry.
They're badass.
Yeah, like he's like, they're killing it. They're farming, tilling the land, just so we're clear.
Right. No, they're running the farm.
Oh, yeah. I know what you meant.
They're the big boss. Like, What did I say?
Nothing, man, nothing. It's okay. It's okay. I'm here to protect you. They start saying this dumb shit, but look.
I can't get in trouble when I go.
No. This will go up a week, about 2 weeks from now. So by that time, it never happened.
All right.
But they're killing it in Brazil. Takes you back to a
Yeah.
moment. Nostalgia sets in.
Yeah.
You go, dude. I remember this on the land.
We were riding in they have harvesters up there because they're on these big high plateaus, and so
Yeah.
they're at this altitude that slows the plant down. You know, when you kind of get colder, when you're that it's slower. Things move a little slower, especially on these farms. It's just so laid
Sounds like
back.
that whiskey world, bro.
Right. So it's like, yeah, you want those you want the high differentials, like those heat and the cold, to give you that flavor. And that's the same thing with plants. Like, you want these really high daytime, high light environments. That plant's photosynthesizing. It's taking all these macro and micronutrients. You got to get.
Well, I
that.
ain't heard that word photosynthesize since I was about 7th grade.
Yeah, right. That's right. I'm gonna bring back a lot of these 3rd grade physical science terms that you should have been paying a little more attention to. That's the world I live in now. Where it's like it's nothing too complicated, but it's one of those like, wait, how does the plant make its energy? And it's like, oh yeah, those leaves, you know, those things, those green things that are on there. If you take those away, that plant dies. You know, it's like, why does it have roots? Like, why does the plant have roots? You know.
Why does it have roots? Tell me.
Because you can get all that macro and micronutrient through the leaves. You can get it. It's called foliar. You know, you can get those to keep the plant fed and healthy. You can get it foliar, or you can take it in through the root, and that's where those roots. If you can get those healthy roots, you can get healthy plant stock or tops. And then once the stock and once the top is really healthy and vibrant, like, then you know that fruit is going to be great. You know that by the time it's like flowering, it's going to get the flower that happens, how it gets pollinated. I haven't gotten into the birds and the bees talk yet. Like, how these things get pollinated and how these.
Who taught you about birds and the bees, guys? We got a couple more questions here in a second.
Yeah.
You're killing it, dude. Listen.